Hello and happy Halloween, happy Samhain, and happy new moon in Scorpio. I've got some really fun readings for you guys today. I'm so excited to share them with you. I hope that you are so excited for the season. I hope you're letting yourself feel these Scorpio feelings if there are any that come up. If you are feeling low, like allow yourself to like feel these things. Do not be scared because not we've got some really wonderful, good messages for you today. So there is light in the darkness. Allow yourself to feel dark, though. Allow yourself to be empty. Allow yourself to sit with that emptiness so that you can be more clear about what you want to fill back that space with and make sure that it's like all good and light things. So I don't know what happened to my little number tab things. They disappeared. So for group number 1, we have a cauldron, a cutie patootie little mini cauldron here. Group number 2 in the center goes with this smoky quartz pendulum. And group number 3 has this little mini broom. So let's see, 1, 2, and 3. You can, as always, find the timestamps in the description box below to take you directly to your reading, or, read all of them or watch all of them if you want and see which one calls out to you. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just so excited. Halloween and October flew by so fast. So I am proposing that November is now 2nd October, so we can keep this fun, keep this party going. I feel like I'm like, it was just October and I feel like I missed the whole thing. Anyways, happy Halloween. Thank you for your support this year, and I can't wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. Hello, group 1. If you chose this cutie patootie little cauldron, then this reading is for you for the new moon in Scorpio for November 1st of 2024. And spoiler alert, the spider webs on the inside of the cauldron are part of your reading as well. So, this group is going through like a really big transformation. So, because this is a collective reading, I think that can always mean different things for different people, but it does very much feel like a kind of embodiment of your authentic self, like a stepping into your power, owning your power, shedding an old version of yourself, becoming a new version of yourself, and or becoming the person that like you were always meant to be. The tarot cards that we have here are the 5 of Wands and the 2 of Swords and Awakening, which is also tarot. This is the Judgment card. So I want to talk about these two cards first. When I first pulled this, I was originally thinking that the 5 of Wands is a card of conflict and kind of almost like making conflict for the sake of like avoiding a situation, avoiding this transformation possibly. Or just, I don't know, just getting like wrapped up in stupid petty conflicts that like don't really mean anything. But I feel like for this group that this 5 of Wands is more about kind of like using things to distract you from stepping into your power and having this judgment awakening. The 2 of Swords is normally about like knowing that you need to make a decision, knowing which direction that you need to go in, but kind of turning the other cheek and like looking the other way and pretending like you don't see this happening. Pretending like you don't feel this transformation happening, pretending that you're not ready for it. But this deck beautifully talks about this card being very much about trusting blindly, covering your eyes and just moving forward with absolute trust, which I really love specifically for this reading, because I think that's what you're being asked to do finally is like it's time to stop avoiding. It's time it's time to do the thing, to do the thing. So your message says, whether you're ready or whether you think that you're ready or not, your higher self and guides have decided that you are. And really what that means, like, you your guides and your higher self like decided this life path before you even came here. So like trusting that they know when the time is right, I think is very important for this group. So in a way you are ready because like, you know, like you all chose this life before you even came here. So you are ready to step into your power and to be your true self. The things that used to interest you no longer do. And I feel like this message is like you've noticed that like you're not interested in the same things anymore. The people that used to get along with are kind of like boring you. They're not on the same wavelength as you. You've tried to hold on to the comfortable, but it really isn't, it's not really that cozy anymore. Like, I feel like I was being shown, like, you know, like going out with the same people and like doing the same things that you used to love, you used to enjoy, like, you used to have a good time. And like, you're just kind of not, you're not really like enjoying it. And it's not necessarily like that they're bad people or that there's this negative energy in your life. It's just like, it's time for you to move on. And I think that like that's significant because I think sometimes we feel like, well, if a situation isn't bad, if it's not hurting me, then why move on? Like, what's the, like, it's not, like, I feel like we need the excuse that, like, this is bad, this is wrong, I'm ready to go. Like, you know, because kind of like when you stay at a new job or a job for too long and, like, it just gets, like, unbearable, like, all these bad things happen, and it's almost like that's the universe, like, pushing you out because maybe that's what this Five of Wands is saying too. It's just like, it's just gonna get so bad because, like, you can't let go, like, you can't move on, even though you know you should, and you know that it's time, and you know that there's something better out there for you, that it's like, you don't wanna wait too long for this whatever this situation is to get bad. Like, move on when you, like, feel good about it and, like, there's no hard feelings and, like, you just see, like, "Okay, this isn't making me happy." Um, Now we need to start, like, finding things that, like, do make you happy, that are more in alignment with your true and high self. So it's okay, there's no hard feelings. Trust your instincts, even if you feel like you're walking blindly. So our oracle cards are Apple, Risk and Renewal, Cauldron, Synergy and Healing, and Scrying, Intuition. So, I'm just being told, like, I want to read the messages from these other oracle cards, but I was just told that I needed to read the Cauldron one, which is why we chose the Cauldron for you guys. Should you receive the Cauldron card, it indicates the importance of combining a variety of techniques or elements to get the best result. Do not put all of your eggs in one basket. Refuse to choose just a single rigid pathway when a variety of ways are there to be enjoyed and experienced. You can find your own ways to create something new. The Cauldron is a deeply transformational tool. Things change once they are put under pressure. Resilience is being cultivated over time, and this means that you will be able to withstand any negative pressure much more healthily from the inside out. So the reason I chose the Cauldron as the significator is because I think like one of the things that this group needs to do is to create a simmer pot. And specifically with this looks like a cinnamon stick to me. I don't think it is. I think it's just like a stick. But specifically with cinnamon and apples. Like I know traditionally there's in simmer pots, there's oranges and cinnamon. I think you can do it with an apple and specifically sliced like horizontally so that it's like little slices that have like the seed star in the middle, and using this simmer pot as a source of divination. So our other two cards are pumpkin spice and apple cider and haunted house. So these are the ones that I really wanted to read from the book. So the pumpkin spice and apple cider, the keywords are nostalgia, joy, belonging, and inner child. So your higher self chose this card because there are hints from your past that hold the answer to your future. This card presents itself to you when you are feeling confused or questioning your strengths, talents, and perhaps even your life purpose. It might seem as though you have no idea what you should be doing with your life. You may have had a spark of inspiration here or there, but it feels like an aha moment. 1 second turns to crippling doubt and fear just as quickly as the thought arrived. Pumpkin spice. So I feel like specifically for this group, this could be like you feel like, I don't know, you wake up in the morning and you're like, yeah, I feel connected and I feel like in alignment with like this new version of who I want to be. And then it just like quickly dissipates. So pumpkin spice and apple cider guides you to return to the past when you're searching for clues to your next steps. What did you enjoy doing as a child? What was your answer when you were asked, who do you want to be when you grow up? Did you see yourself as an artist? Perhaps it's time to explore different forms of creative expression. Did you see yourself as a farmer? Why not cultivate a small garden? You never know where small steps might lead you. A small garden might one day turn into a sprawling farm. So I feel like the message for this group is to like using this new moon to, first of all, like do a lot of integration, releasing of this old version of yourself and allowing yourself to envision, scry, whether that's candle divination, like using the steam or the smoke from the simmer pot that you make, or just doing like a meditation where you try to envision like what you want your future to be like, or what you want, where this next step is going. Because I feel like for some of you, you're staying where you are because there's just like, you're like, well, show me the next step and I'll do it. What's the next thing? What are my options even? Especially because this was talking about like having multiple options. Like show me. So ask to be shown and see what comes up for you, whether that's in candle divination, scrying in a crystal ball, using the steam, using the water in the simmer pot, like, or doing just like a guided meditation, something like ask to be shown like what the next steps are to be taken. And I think that like for some of you, this isn't like an immediate thing. There's some of you won't be fully embodying this transformation until after the holidays, I feel like. Because I think with this like nostalgia card here, that there is this need to have like that last trip down memory lane or whatever. Or maybe this is proving to yourself like trying to do the things that used to make you feel comfortable and needing that proof. Like if I don't enjoy these things, like if I don't enjoy these normal nostalgic things that I do in the fall and winter time during the holiday season, if I'm not enjoying those things, then like that is a sign to move on. Read the haunted house card. So your higher self chose this card because a person or situation from your past is preventing you from experiencing the bliss that is waiting for you once you clear this energy from your orbit. You might see the energy of this card manifest in an ex who continues to come back into your life whenever it's convenient for them to do so. Perhaps you are loyal to a friend who is not loyal to you in return. And despite how many times you have been burned, you continue to support them when they call. You might be staying with an employer who doesn't value you or your ideas, so you feel as though your talent is being overlooked and wasted. Choosing to let go of what brings you pain is a critical form of self-care. I need to read this again. Choosing to let go of what brings you pain is a critical form of self-care. It's really hard to do, but it is a critical form of self-care. Haunted House prompts you to examine the people and areas of your life that make you feel trapped, afraid, abandoned, hurt, and confused. These situations may trigger something within you, and when you are blended with these emotional bombs, you may be blinded to the exit. The door might have been right in front of you this entire time, but you're experiencing an illusion that has led you to believe that there is no escape. It may be that you have taken on the role of healer and believe it's your job to change the actions of others. It is not. Your responsibility is to your own healing and your own well-being. Even though it may be painful, taking steps to set boundaries with others provides a healing pathway for them as well. By letting go, you are choosing not to enable their behaviors and are shining a light on their shadows. You very well could be the healer after all, simply by taking steps to heal yourself. So I think like this is a really big one for some of us that chose this card. I relate to that feeling of trapped and feeling like there's no way out. So that's why this simmer pot, this scrying simmer pot is like so important for this group to like allow yourself, like when we're stuck in these uncomfortable situations, it's really hard to see a way out. It's hard to see like what is that next step because all you can focus on is like what isn't good. All you can focus on is the problem, and it's really hard to find a solution. So this new moon really wants you to scry and see what your options are. And we've got Spider Lady here, and Spider Lady is all about manifesting, setting that web and trusting, believing, and allowing for the universe to send it your way. So we got to set up our web and we got to walk away and trust that what we're asking for is coming to us. So that's why I put the little spider web in the cauldron, the spider web in the cauldron. So what you're being asked to do is to create a simmer pot. I highly recommend using it to scry, whether that's with the water, with the steam that rises from the pot, with a candle that you light on the side, or from a meditation that you do while it's simmering. And then when you get that visualization and those signs and symbols that show you what this new you looks like, show you what this new life looks like, then you're going to set your little spider web and your new moon intentions, and you're going to wait. You're going to walk away and you're going to wait for the universe to bring it to you. So I was feeling like this group is feeling stuck, trapped, or maybe even stuck in a sticky web of your own making. Or maybe it's the life that you thought that you were weaving doesn't suit you anymore. If you are having trouble envisioning what this new life or new you will look like, some sort of scrying, visualization, meditation will be beneficial for you. Create a simmer pot that encapsulates the new things you are calling in, but also the things that you are breaking down. So this whole creation of the simmer pot, like you're putting herbs and fruit into water in a pot and allowing it to boil and simmer for hours, at least an hour, but more if you can. And so all of the aromatics and the healing properties of the plants and the fruits are going to be emitted into the air. So this is like a visual representation of the transformation process of taking solid objects and transforming them into air. The herbs, spices, and fruit that you have chosen, apple and cinnamon is like really important for, because we even have like we have apples. Was there another apple? No. Oh, it was just I kept seeing the vision of an apple like cut horizontally with the star seed in the center. So definitely slice your apples that way when you put them in your simmer pot. They look cuter that way anyway. So bring the ingredients that you have chosen to a boil, allow them to simmer for at least an hour. Continue to add water if it evaporates too quickly. Ground and center yourself. Inhale the vapors as you watch the steam rise while contemplating the things that you are shedding and releasing. So we're visualizing that like as those herbs and the fruit gets broken down, that like visualize that those are the things that you're shedding and releasing, and they're getting broken down in the boiling water as well. When your mind is quiet, use the steam or water to scry and begin visualizing this new life or new you that you are about to embody. The apples and the cinnamon are for sure significant. A lot of times, like when I do spells or rituals or magic like this, I use whatever, like definitely go out and get yourself a bag of apples, go out and get yourself some cinnamon sticks, but then check your cabinet like before you leave the house and see what you have. A lot of times what you have in your cabinet or in your refrigerator or whatever is like what you need. So whenever I'm like crafting a ritual, I just like literally open the cabinet and grab something that I'm drawn to and use that. And then I'll go research like what is, I don't know, rosemary's jumping to mind. I'll go look up the properties or symbolism of rosemary, and it's usually like something that I needed. So definitely check your cabinet first, add apples and cinnamon to it. You can use your regular old spices that you have in your on your spice rack. You don't have to like get it all fancy and stuff. You can also write down things that you're like releasing on a piece of paper, put those in there, watch them dissolve. And then I think it's going to be important for this group to take, like when you're done with the simmer pot, take all of those leftover, the herbs and the fruit that's all broken down now, taking them outside, composting them if you can, or burying them, or doing something significant to like let it go, to release it. So big transformation for this group. You're not alone. Obvious, like I really relate to this reading. I think collectively we are going through a really big release with this Scorpio new moon. So you're not alone. Let yourself feel the feelings that you're feeling. Feel the feelings that you're feeling. Let yourself cry, like let it out. Like we are purging this old so that we can be new again in the spring. At the very least, I think for some of you this is like a rapid transformation, but I think for some this is a like shed release in the fall, hibernate winter, and then be rebirthed in spring. But I think for some of you this rebirth was like a long time coming, and maybe it's that like fall is your rebirth time. Okay, I think that's all I have for you. I send all of my love to you for real. I relate to this reading so hard, and I feel you. I can't wait to see the new person that you become. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you'd like a private reading, those are available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Hello, group 2. If you chose the Smoky Quartz Pendulum, then this is your reading for the new moon in Scorpio for October, November 2024. So first of all, I want to say thank you to this group for sharing your energy. The whole feeling and vibe of this reading is so different from the others, and I just I feel like I need to say that because there's something significant about like trusting your intuition with this group. And like I normally have like a really set protocol for how I go about doing these readings, how I go about filming them, how I like energetically connect, and there's like all these things that I do. And one of them specifically is like I usually do automatic writing while I'm looking at the cards and just see kind of what comes up. But I was told just like the everything about this reading was so just like straightforward and to the point, and I was like told not to sit and reflect on it, to just trust what was coming through and to just um go with the flow. And I think that's like important for those of you that chose this group, um because there's certainly trusting your intuition is like the main message here. I do think that it's going to be important for you to do divination around this new moon and around Halloween, and that you need, if you don't have already, an altar dedicated to like, this is when I'm connecting, and doing that regularly. So okay, let's let's do the card. So Nymph of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, I think this is the second time this card has done this to me. This is the Page of Pentacles. I have been reading it as the Page of Cups this entire time. Interesting. Okay. I think, okay, I'm just going to trust that I was seeing it as, this is the second time I've done this, because it's like there's coral and I feel like she has kind of like a mermaid tail, and like this is water, right? And that's Jupiter, but I saw it as Neptune. Okay, when I pulled this card, I saw Neptune, which is more of a blue planet. I saw cup, water energy. This is Page of Cups. So the message I get with the pentacles now instead of cup is that, um like I said about having that space, that altar, you need a divination space and a regular practice. Page of Pentacles is like learning, like record everything that you're receiving. There's something very significant about like, number one, you need an altar. Number two, maybe like a journal or diary, like recording all of the readings that you do or something like that. Like uh, getting a book about intuition, or some like if some sort of study is calling to you, like learn, practice, and grow. However, I was reading this as the Page of Cups, and that's like being surprised by your own intuition. That like this reading is just very much intuition. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition and practice regularly. We have the Three of Wands as well, and and the Seven of Wands. So like, don't let anything stop you. The thing that really jumped out about the three of these cards is like, look at her hand is what, like one arm is stretched out and one arm is up. One arm is stretched out and one arm is up. This one, her hand is down, but the other arm is stretched out. So like, this is like, okay, the first there's too much coming all at once. So the first message when I pulled the Seven of Wands was, I started singing in my head a song from All Dogs Go to Heaven. You can't keep a good dog down. No, you can't keep a good dog down. You know that song? Um, and then with the arms stretched out, the other message that I was getting is onward, onward. We're going, we're doing this thing, like just not stopping to think about it. Like you already have the plan. Three of Wands is the Two of Wands is the planning card. Three of Wands is you already have the plan, like waiting for the things to come. Like just move. You're doing the thing. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's good, especially if you are including an intuitive practice, an altar space where you are sitting and practicing regularly, daily, and recording everything. I don't even feel like I have to pull cards, but I'm going to anyways. So, the veil, the future, skeleton, strength, and skull of flowers creating from the ashes. So the skull card was just kind of saying to me, like, I don't know if you were doubting yourself in the past or like you were stuck or something, like you've overcome something and now like rising from the ashes like the phoenix, like now this is your time to create. Like do the thing that you've always been wanting to do, create the thing that you've always been wanting to create, and again figure out how to have that intuitive practice where you're sitting at your altar daily doing divination, recording it and studying it. um I think maybe with this, I was getting like honestly just like your typical strength card with this card, like the lion and the courage, and like you are brave enough to do this thing. You are um you are strong enough to do this thing. If you've been doubting in the past, like there's no doubt anymore. You are doing this thing, and I really do think that it's like an intuitive thing. Like, I don't know if maybe you're like going to start doing readings online. I think it's more than just like tarot readings though for you. It feels more like um something where you're going beyond the veil like a little bit deeper, whether that's like mediumship or oh, QHHT just popped in my head. Something where you're kind of astral travel, like I don't know, something where you're going deep and you're going in the dark, and to not be scared because you are whatever this is, like you're a intuitive to the very core of who you are. So we have Crow. And when I pulled this card, I instead of seeing 11, which is the number of the card, I was seeing 2, like Roman numeral 2. So this feels like a high priestess card to me, even though it's obviously not the high priestess. And then we also have St. John's wort and marigold. And these two cards, this deck really, really wants to be used this year. So we're going to read the messages on these cards. So the keywords for the Crow card are something's coming, messages, and pay attention. Your higher self chose this card because a message is coming your way and is warning you to keep an eye out for important signs and clues of what's to come. Nothing truly manifests without some warning. The signs might be subtle, but they have been prompting you your entire life. Oh, another thing that just jumped in my head is like recently I did a reading on Twitch for somebody who was like connecting or getting a lot of synchronicities. And the message for them was to like you need to start recording them, all of the signs and symbols that you are receiving, so that you're keeping a record of them and noting like what it is that you're doing when you see those signs, so that you can start to decipher whatever your spirit language is. Like if you're seeing 1111 every time you're like doing divination, or I don't know, receive an intuitive message, then that's a sign that like that intuitive message is accurate or whatever. Like start recording it so that you start to see the similarities and the patterns. So you might feel a sensation such as a tingle in your neck, or perhaps a decision gives you a sense of dread. You might have an idea that instantly lifts your spirits, or feel some electricity when you meet someone new. All of these sensations are clues that attempt to steer you towards a rewarding life. Pulling the Crow card is a sign to trust your intuition, especially in the coming days. You may be quick to dismiss your feelings as being silly, or perhaps they are in many societies. However, you're connected to the spirit realm where all things are possible, and the only right answer is the one that gives you a feeling of peace, joy, and success. Trust in your ability to read messages of the universe and know there is always a pathway to safety for those who know where to look. Whether the message coming your way is good or bad remains to be seen. Look to other cards within your reading or select an additional card. Okay, well, We also need to remember protection with this St. John's wort and marigold card. This is why, well, let me read this one first. So, protection against dark forces repels negative and unwanted energies. Your higher self chose this card because there are some negative energies swirling around you that are affecting your spiritual well-being. You may see this energy manifest in mood swings, nightmares, general low energy, or unexplained feelings of heaviness. Know that these feelings are not a result of anything that you have done, that they will continue to disrupt your life if they don't take the steps to remove the energy that's causing you harm. Take a few moments to think about when you feel this energy the most. Does it tend to happen just after visiting a particular person or location? Do you feel this way at work or at home? Most people are not aware of how much energy they steal or the ways in which their low vibration affects others. It's important to hold space for the people you love and care about by listening and supporting them through tough times. But when a relationship becomes toxic, you may need to take extra steps to protect your energy. If St. John's wort or marigold should fall out of the deck, oh, that's a reverse meaning. Okay, so like especially, I mean, I feel like this group is probably eventually, if you're not already reading for other people, that maybe you will eventually. So you really have to disconnect and cleanse your energy with every encounter that you have, every reading that you do. I have a specific, like I said, a specific protocol that I do before every reading and after as well. Same goes with like massage therapy, or even when I'm just going to the dang grocery store. When I come home, I cleanse my energy because you never know what you're picking up from other people. This is why I chose the smoky quartz pendulum for you, because number one, this reading is definitely about being intuitive and about figuring out like what your spirit communication style is, figure out what your vocabulary it is, figure out what everything means for you. But smoky quartz is like one of like my number one go-to for um clearing energy and also for protection. I use these aren't these aren't as high quality as this beautiful smoky quartz here, but I carry these like with me everywhere I go, and and I like this is how I connect and disconnect from readings as well. And our last card here is altar. You need to set up a space where you are practicing regularly, um whether that's just pulling a card every morning and leaving it on your nightstand and journaling about it for 5 minutes if that's all you have time for, or setting up a nice, gorgeous, beautiful altar with all of your tools on it and still making sure that you are connecting to it regularly, though. Altars are there to support us. They're there to be a place to ground and reconnect and recharge. When we are neglecting our altars, they can be draining our energy too. So make sure that you're doing some sort of regular practice. It's like really important to I probably need to receive this message too, because I tend to have like little altars everywhere and sometimes they get neglected and they're probably draining my energy. So every new moon, like clean, like physically clean, dust and wipe things down, scrape the candle wax that got spilt off of the table. And, we have to do those stupid mundane things too, but that's also going to energetically clear. You also want to like reset and vibe it up. Like create an altar, create a regular practice. You're super intuitive. Stop doubting yourself. You're strong enough to do this. Make sure you're protecting yourself, because I think you are going deeper and darker than probably what normal people are doing. So thank you for sharing your energy again. Like, I'm being told to shut up because you already know like what the dealio is. So thank you again for sharing your energy. If you would like a private reading, please check out my website, priestessofwonderland.com. And Thank you so much. Have a happy new moon. Hello, group 3. If you chose this witch's broom, balsam, uh, whatever you want to call it, then this reading is for you for the new moon of October, November 2024. So, I first of all have to start off like the energy of this reading has me like vibrating, vibrating. It's kind of like it's good, like it's a good energy, but it's like whoa, like I had to like hold my hands out because they were like shaking. I was like, what is I feel like I drank like 100 cups of coffee. You have like a lot of power. And this new moon and Halloween is going to be really significant for you to like do the work. And I keep getting the witch work because the magician in this deck is the witch, and I'm just like you need to work some magic. You need to write a spell. You need to create a potion. You need to um I don't like meditate, howl at the moon, meditate under the new moon, do some scrying, like whatever your magic of choice is, you got to do the work. We've got 8 of pentacles, like, and like I like all I keep hearing is you need to do the witch work. You need to do the witch work. I feel like either you're going to be like receiving some power or you need to like expel some power. You need to like draw some pentagrams on the floor and like light some candles and uh howl at the moon, dance around a fire naked. Like you need to do some like ride a broom. You need to do some stereotypical witchy shit on this new moon. 8 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. I think this needs to be a regular practice for you. If you were drawn to pile number 2, you might relate to it as well, because there's a page there. The Page of Pentacles was there too, and it was very much a like needing a regular divination practice, but more in a like going beyond the veil, intuitive divination kind of way. This feels more like like I said earlier, um dancing around a fire naked, like movement, like physical work, even if that's like harvesting. There's so many flowers in these cards, like harvesting herbs and like making tinctures or making spell jars or like doing kitchen witchery or something that's like you're infusing your power into it or like channeling your power. If you are a Ko-fi member or a Twitch subscriber, there were a couple rituals that we had at the most recent moon meeting that are in your private Discord channels. Of one of them was like dancing in a candlelit room naked and loving and appreciating your body. Um, which is it is very much a like receiving of power, transferring power, like kind of ritual. And the other one was one about releasing. So I don't know, there just seems to be like a you need to like transfer your power, expel some power, receive some power, transfer some power. You need to like do some magic work. We have Skull of Light, Illumination, Werewolf Exploring Wildness, and Night Song. So all 3 of these cards are about like this one is about supposedly seeing a robin at night is a very uh beneficial, like a good omen, a good sign about finding your true purpose and owning your power. The werewolf is exploring your wildness, literally like getting in touch with nature, connecting with yourself, connecting with power, shape-shifting, like shape-shifting into the witch that like you're supposed to be, like. And then this one, the Skull of Light, is like also like all three of these cards are like being your true self, owning your power, finding your purpose, like all three of like this, like you need to do some witchy work because you're a witch, okay? We also have whiskey and mountain cabin. So this deck really wants to be read from today. So I'm going to start with whiskey. The keywords are patient, long-term success, and the bigger picture. Your higher self chose this card because some things, and often the best things, take time. Some of the most excellent whiskeys in the world age for more than a decade, giving them the time they need to develop flavor and richness. Even lower-end whiskey can take several years to mature properly. Those who take on this endeavor are doing so with the knowledge that there will not be an overnight success, but they take the journey anyways because the rewards have the greatest potential for outweighing the risks. No dream worth having is without risks. The whiskey card is confirmation that your desires are coming, but just not right now. So don't give up hope. Facing an obstacle or delay isn't always a sign that you should try something else. Sometimes the universe is testing your patience to see if you have the determination to keep it your dream for the long haul. Or it could be a sign to pause rather than quit. Consider whether your goals need time, like whiskey, to rest undisturbed. You can always come back to your dreams at a later date when you feel more prepared or eager to take on this challenge. So I feel like this whiskey card is saying that, like, perhaps the spell or the magic that you are doing for this new moon and Halloween, Samhain, is a long-term one. One that you're going to have to continually come back to, feed it, work with it. Some spell jars are like that. Some like rituals where like you keep that jar on your altar and you keep adding different things to it. That's what I kind of use these for, these little beads here, like continually feeding it like every new moon, putting more intentions and more growth and more courage and more beauty into it and more belief or whatever, adding different herbs and taking things out that weren't working, like something that you really work on for an extended period of time. Plants are really good for this, like actually planting a seed with a piece of paper of your intentions and like watching it grow, tending it every day, talking to it every day, watering it, making sure it's getting enough sunlight, like some sort of like spell or ritual that you're going to like continually work on for an extended period of time. So the mountain cabin, your higher self chose this card because there are too many things influencing your life, and some time to yourself to listen to your inner spirit is exactly what you need. Most friends and family have the best intentions when offering their advice, but they only speak from their experiences and do not have the full understanding of your life story. Even those closest to you, such as a sibling, parent, or best friend, won't know everything about you, why you've made certain choices or goals you daydream about. Your soul is guiding you through this card to disconnect from the world so that you can find the best pathway forward without the pollution of other people's opinions. It's much easier to find confidence in yourself without the questions, doubts, and concerns or criticisms that you're likely facing from those in your life. Taking a solo vacation is excellent if that is available to you, but finding a quiet corner to yourself, journaling, or simply keeping your plans under wraps are excellent ways to experience solitude. This is a very, very, very good message about new moon intentions in general of not telling people like what they are. Like write them down in your journal or your book of shadows, or put your intentions in your little spell jar on your altar, and don't tell anybody what it's for. It's none of their damn business. You don't need their doubt in your manifestation soup. And we have All Hallows Eve. This is just another card that is like, be the damn witch. Like do the spell, do the ritual, make your altar. If you felt called to pile number 2, read that one too, because that was all about needing to create a sacred space that you regularly go to every day to recharge, to reconnect, to practice divination. But more in your case, this is like a long-term spell that you continually work on. You continue, like, you can maybe you work on it for eight moon cycles or something. Like, continue to do the work. Having something that you're continually feeding. I really love the planting the seed ones, but I do not have a green thumb, so I always get really sad and bummed when when the plant doesn't grow, and I'm like, oh no, now my intentions aren't gonna come true. So I like the jar because you can put things in, you can take things out, and nothing's gonna die on you. So, um, if you guys want like more details about this reading, consider getting like a private reading. Those are available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. I can't wait to see you be the witch that you were meant to be, or the werewolf, or the werewolf. Really, really cool reading. Sorry that it was like so short and sweet, but I'm feeling like you already know, like if you've got spell books like next to your table, or you've been thinking about a ritual and then like you never do it, like now's the time. Like do the witchy thing. I mean, Halloween is the time to do it. If you're not going to if you've been putting off being a witch all year, Halloween is the time to do it. So do it. Do it.